we're going to cross then to Taipei, talk to a correspondent, Jan Camenzind Broomby, who joins us from there. Jan, is there really much of a sign that this conversation could actually happen? If it does happen, what might be on the agenda for it?
Two big questions, and Stuart, if you'd asked me a few days ago, I would have told you that this phone call is quite unlikely to happen. That being said, this is the second time in just a week that President Trump has come out to say that he will be speaking to Taiwanese President Lai, and we know from the Taiwanese side that they've said they're also willing to speak to Trump if the phone call does go ahead. Not only that, we have some indication about what the Taiwanese president would say. He said that he would want to emphasize to the US that it is China who is undermining peace in the region, saying that his government is supporting peaceful maintenance of the status quo. He would also hope to push the US to continue arms sales to Taiwan. Now, what he's talking about there is this $14 billion arms package that hasn't gone through quite yet, that the Taiwanese are hoping the Americans can continue. Trump in the last week has referred to these arms sales, referring perhaps directly to that $14 billion package as, quote, a good negotiating chip. He's also warned the Taiwanese against declaring independence. That perhaps is a flavour of what their conversation could look like if it does go ahead.
And presumably, Jan, if it goes ahead, it could get an angry reaction, though, from Beijing.
I think we're definitely likely to see a reaction from Beijing, most probably quite an angry reaction. This, of course, is a very line for the Chinese. If there was a phone call, it will be the first time in decades that the top leaders have spoken directly. Former Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen did speak to Donald Trump before he became president, but after he won election of his first time, even that got some anger from Beijing. So if the sitting presidents were to speak to each other, we can only imagine what the reaction would be like. And it also follows the meeting between Trump and Xi Jinping last week, where Beijing was really at pains to emphasize just how sensitive this would be as a topic. It all depends, though, of course, on what Trump actually says. If Trump uses the opportunity to place pressure on Taiwan, well, Beijing would be unhappy that the call has taken place, but they might see it as a bit of a victory and a bit of a diplomatic coup for them, having just met with Trump last week.